So hi, again, I'd like to show you this technique. This is a still point technique, but it specifically uses the occiput and therefore it's called the CV4. The fourth cranial vault is going to be compressed, and it is going to shut down the cerebral spinal fluid production. So this technique actually is very good for people who are really stressed out. We actually sell a little device that you can use to induce your own CV4. This device actually, and this device in my hand positioning, will quiet the respiratory system and slow down the sympathetic nervous system. So what I'm going to do is I'll just sort of turn his head a little bit. You can see what I'm doing. I've got my hand so that my thumb, thenar eminence, is actually right on the occiput, and the other hand is going to be on the same place. And I'm going to bring my hands closer together so that the thenar eminences actually bring together his occiput. His occiput, when it's in extension and flexion, move, just the bone itself moves into flexion and extension. And so I'm going to hold it just like I did with the feet. I'm going to hold the bone in extension, and I'm going to follow it into extension, and I'm not going to allow it to move back out of extension until the rhythm stops. And then I'm just going to hold for a little while and wait for it to start to move back into flexion again. So just get my good hand position here. Good. Is that comfortable? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm just going to hold his head for a little while and get myself to the point where I start to feel his extension and flexion. And there his head's moving into extension right now. Extension, extension, and I am following it with my thenar eminences. I'm not going to allow it to move back into flexion. There, it keeps going into extension. So as we start to recognize that it's really stopping the craniosacral rhythm, you'll be able to tell his respiratory rate will actually slow down, and his body will get very still. It's a very relaxing thing to experience, and it's very therapeutic. And it's moving enough into extension that I now need to move my hands a little bit closer together. I can feel it fighting against me, that the bone actually wants to move out into flexion. This has some contraindications. You're not supposed to do it with anyone who's got some intracranial hemorrhaging or an aneurysm. It's a very bad idea, because it does increase the pressure in the cranium. There you go. Definitely moved into a very, it feels to me like I'm about as far into extension as I can get. And he had a deep sigh. And I think, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's definitely a very shallow breath going on in his body right now. And so now that I'm pretty sure I'm at still point, I'm just going to relax my hands. I'm going to leave them right where they are. I'm going to let his head drop against me, and I'm just going to wait. And at some point his flexion will start. The occiput will start to pump. The fluid will move, and we will get some movement again. but his body's taking advantage of this moment and letting the respiratory rhythm drop, getting the sympathetic nervous system is turning off, the fight or flight system. There you go, nice. Good job. Yeah, there it is. I'm starting to feel him turning his rhythm right on again. Definitely nice, strong flexion and extension happening again in his occiput. Okay. How you doing?
Very good.
Great. So, I guess that's what I have to share with you today. Thanks.